Oh boy. All right, chat. We gotta get things right here. Give me 1 second. I know you can't see me. Give me un momento. Un momento. Oh boy. Oh, there we go. Let me take this down. Okay. All right, chat. We got one more thing to fix here. Chat. My bad. I was supposed to do this beforehand. I don't know what happened. It's not my fault. I blame Peanut. And if you don't know who Peanut is, Peanut's the orange cat we got here. He's always to blame. Okay, let's try this again, shall we? Intro music, and then we'll get going. Oh, there we go, chat. Good morning. Welcome back to another episode of Rants About Tech Live, number 132 today. Wow, we getting up there, 132. For this Wednesday, July 30th. We're encroaching upon July or August already, everybody. We're encroaching on August. How you doing? My name is Rod. I'm your friendly neighborhood purveyor of eInk here at Rants About Tech Live. I'm joined with some of my good friends here and AKA co-hosts, the chat crew. Thank you guys for joining. Let's get the air horns going for you guys. Really appreciate you for being here. Yeah, we got a pretty decent eInk selection today to talk about, so that's good stuff. Heads up, my Note Air 4C is working again. Yay! Note Air 4C is working again. I don't have to come on here and talk crap about it. I was totally going to come in and talk crap about it, but we don't have to do that. It's working. We got a couple of things to talk about. I meant to put this message in the chat for Mr. Mike. I'll put it in there now. Mental health is super important. Dude, if you got to cut out early to get your mind right, listen, I'm all for that. I guess that's okay. I guess it's okay. What else we got to talk about? We're going to talk about some Apple stuff here today, too. I got a JP Morgan story to tell you. We got JP Morgan stories and news up here. Christina Ray. Oh, snap. Let's get to the chat. Let's get to the chat real quick. As an appreciation to the chat members, I appreciate you guys for being here. Let's get the air horns going for you guys for showing up early for the chat. I really appreciate that. Who we got here? We got Christina Ray. Appreciate you for being here. We got Mr. Mike in here. Thanks for being here. We got Aaron in here. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. We got Owen here as usual. Thank you for being here, Owen. Yeah, so these are my good friends, and like I said, they join me in the chat. Basically, co-hosts. These people are my co-hosts. So, like I said, we talk about tech news of the day every day. We talk about eInk news of the day if there's any, and we talk about maker stuff, 3D printing, xTool stuff. We got some xTool stuff to talk about today too. Not too exciting, not too big, but some things. First off, we're going to start off with is the holidays. So let's start off talking about the holidays. I got a different format up here, so I'm gonna fumble around a little bit because I started doing my notes handwritten, and then I started converting them digitally before the show. So I have a digital copy of that now. So I wanted this AI to see what they could do on it, and you got to have this stuff digital if you want AI to work on it. D Hudson, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here. So yeah, a little bit different of a format. I realized what happened to the mic yesterday too. Thankfully, we didn't have that problem today. We just had camera stuff today. All right, so let's talk about the national holidays. We got International Day of Friendship. Just listen, show your friends some love, okay? If you got a friend you haven't talked to in a long time, I got some military buddies. I'm going to call them today because it's National Friendship Day. I haven't talked to these guys in probably 4 or 5 years, some of them. It's time to call them today. What else we got? National Talk in an Elevator Day. That's an obscure holiday, but it's a holiday nonetheless. Everyone's quiet in the elevator. Today, if you're in the elevator, you're at work today, you're in the elevator with some coworkers, just say something. Don't fart in the elevator. Don't do that. But, say something. It's just random. Just real loud say, Rants About Tech, live in the elevator today, and see what happens. It's a good time. National Chili Dog Day. Like, I'm a vegetarian, and I'm anti-glizzy. Listen, if you don't know what glizzies are, let's explain what a glizzy is. A glizzy is a hot dog. That's what we call hot dogs in the hood, okay? You go in the hood, you hear, hey, you got the glizzies on? That's a hot dog, okay? Just to let you know, that's what that is. We don't call them hot dogs here. They're glizzies. But the point is, it's National Glizzy Day. Have you a glizzy? Go to the ballpark. Baseball, perfect place to have a glizzy. Have some fun. Glizzies and fun. That's what we're about here. Get into the chat real quick. I talk about viruses I contract in elevators. I make people keep their. Oh, that's like fake sneezing in an elevator, Owen. That's like fake sneezing. Send me some stickers and I'll put them all over my elevators. Oh snap! Listen, if you buy a ceramic nib, Mike, and you should, there'll be Rants About Tech stickers in there. I got Rants About Tech stickers. I got a box somewhere with some on it. Oh, I made some last night. Oh, here it is. Hold on one second. Let me grab that. All right, don't judge the quality of this sticker. I'm still learning, okay? Just don't judge me on the quality. Let's get down here. Don't judge me on the quality of this sticker. I'm testing things. Like, this is gonna look a lot better than this. This won't even be a sticker, but this will be a sticker. If you buy a crystal nib, there will be a sticker on the back. It'll look better than this, I promise. This won't be a sticker, so I got stickers. We're making them. What else we got here? I think that's it. So let's go ahead and go into the tech stories. Shall we? All right, first up, what we got? Oh, I forgot I have a new format. I'm not looking at the notebook pad today. I'm looking at my Google Doc I have here. First up, we got is NotebookLM adds video overviews. If you guys don't know about this, actually, let's check this out down here. This might not be a perfect place for it. It could be a perfect place for it. This could be perfect. If you guys don't know what NotebookLM is, let's check this out real quick. Where are we at? Bam, there we go. What? Okay, so this chat, we gotta fix it. Oh, we gotta fix it, chat. My bad, chat. Oh boy, let's see if we can we do something about this. It's not a window capture. Chat, why is it doing this to me? Let's see here. Window capture, yes. Oh boy, where's Chrome? Oh, there it is, chat. There it is. We got it. We pulled it out. Okay, here we go. What's new in NotebookLM? Video overviews and upgraded studio. So let's talk about all this. We're gonna read through this article real quick. I think it's interesting stuff. If you guys use NotebookLM, and I know some of you guys out there use NotebookLM, they have a audio overview feature, which is basically a podcast with 2 AI hosts that talks about whatever source you put into NotebookLM. Now, if you put sources into NotebookLM, not only can you get an audio podcast, you can also get video overviews. We're going to talk about how that looks here in a second, but just to go through the story real quick. Today's introducing video overviews and new upgrades to the studio panel for NotebookLM, your personalized AI research assistant. Here's a closer look at how these updates make NotebookLM even more powerful and collaborative. Now rolling out video overviews. We have listening to an audio overview. Actually, let's go ahead and take a look at this example of video overviews. Oh boy, I gotta get my headphones. Oh, I almost hit the desk that time. I'm getting better at that. But I almost hit the desk.
You can now make video overviews in NotebookLM. The AI host will pull in images and diagrams from your documents and create new visuals to help illustrate points. They're available now in English and coming soon in more languages.
Okay, let's dive into the wild world of surrealism. What better way to kick things off than with Salvador Dali's Illumined Pleasures from 1929?
And check out this piece from Renee Magritte. Okay, so to really get where surrealism came from, let's hit the highlights on a quick timeline.
Oh boy.
Points. They're available now in English and coming soon in more languages.
Okay,
Chat, I'm not gonna hold
let's
you.
dive into the
really
wild
digging
world
this.
of surrealism. What better way to kick things
really am
off
digging
than with
this.
Salvador?
I'm liking this because this is something that I've been thinking all along. I've been trying to figure out ways to get graphical representations of things that are being explained to me by AI. Or, morning, Shink, how you doing? Thanks for joining. BM, thanks for joining. How you doing? So I've been trying to get graphical representations of the things that I've been talking about, and they finally have done it. I would have settled for pictures, but they got video. You know what I mean? I would have settled for a diagram of something. And I've tried to get AI to do that. Can you give me a diagram of what you just explained? Or it won't do it. But this is one of the best uses of AI-generated video and AI-generated images is for explaining things. This is crazy. This is crazy. So let's go ahead and finish here.
Dolly's Illumined Pleasures from 1929.
And check out this piece from Renee Magritte. Okay, so to really get where surrealism came from, let's hit the highlights on a quick timeline.
All right, so I thought that was pretty interesting, okay? I think it's pretty impressive. I'm a visual learner, and if you are a visual learner, man, this is going to be a godsend for understanding certain things. Let's go ahead and get to the rest of the article here. Listening to an audio overview is a great way to absorb information while multitasking. But there are times when you might need a useful visual aid, absolutely, to understand a complex concept. First announced at I/O, video overviews are a new category of studio outputs coming to NotebookLM. The first format we're launching today takes the form of narrative slides. You can think of these as visual alternatives to audio overviews. The AI host creates new visuals to help illustrate points while also pulling in images. I've actually left this feedback with Google. I'm definitely not the only one, obviously. Diagrams, quotes, and numbers from your documents. These makes it uniquely effective for explaining data, demonstrating processes, and making abstract concepts more tangible. We'll introduce additional formats as video overviews develop further. In the same way you can customize your audio overviews, you'll also have the option to cater video overviews to your needs. You can specify topics to focus on, indicating your learning goals. Now, the slides thing is something I didn't know they were doing first. So you may not get the video initially, but you will definitely get graphical representations of things, and I think that's important. Video overviews to your needs. You can specify topics to focus on, indicate your learning goals, describe the target audience, and much more. So you can make presentations for other people. You can ask generic questions like I know nothing about this topic. Help me understand the diagrams in the paper. And that's something that, like I just said, I used to do a lot. I used to ask that question of myself a lot of AI. Can AI show me something that it's talking about? Because that would be great. And now it can. Can you help me understand the diagrams in this paper, or get specific and ask, I'm already an expert on X and my team works on Y, focus on Z. Very specific details you can give it. Video overviews are now rolling out to all users in English, and support for more languages is coming soon. So new upgrades to Studio. So let's take a look at these Studio upgrades. I think this is interesting right here to multitask what you're doing.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. So today, we're not actually tackling Ulysses itself, but something just as fascinating maybe. We're looking at how James Joyce became James Joyce.
That's right. We're using Herbert Gorman's biography as our guide.
Exactly. Think of it like getting the inside track on Joyce's.
Okay, so that to me was just demonstrating. Actually, oh boy, chat, are we getting some hiccup here in the stream? Oh my goodness. I hope I still sound good. That's all that really matters. Okay, so what I get from this basically is that you can multitask while listening to an overview, right? You can do multiple things. Now, I love the the layout of NotebookLM. I love how they do it. It's an interesting layout. It gives you information in places that are visually catching your eye. It doesn't look boring, and that's one of the things I like about NotebookLM. It's colorful. You know what I mean? You can see the colors in the tiles up here. It's sectioned off nicely as far as they have an information pane for you to do things with the information here. Then you have a main section here where you can see the actual information. And then they have a pane even further to the left right here that shows you all your sources. So I really do like how they format and the layout of NotebookLM. They do a really good job of that. And this specific thing that we just showed is basically just multitasking, right? Your ability to multitask while you're listening to an AI overview. So let's take a look and see what the final part of this article talks about. Notebooks are already a great tool for tuning complex material into digestible formats like audio overviews, mind maps, and study guides. But until now, you could only create one of each per notebook, which could be limiting. So they're saying you can only create one mind map, one study guide per notebook. That's why today we're giving Studio Panel a fresh look, and most importantly, you can now create and store multiple studio outputs for the same type in a single notebook. This unlocks exciting new possibilities for how you learn, making NotebookLM even more comprehensive and useful in digesting information. And then they go into some examples. I think it's pretty neat. I think it's a pretty interesting update to NotebookLM, and I'm really looking forward to using that myself. I can't wait to dive into some of these video overviews. All right, next thing we have on the list is going to be study mode for ChatGPT. Now, this study mode for ChatGPT is basically, where are we at here? There we go. It's basically like what we just saw. So ChatGPT gets a study mode, and to me, I don't think it's like I wouldn't use this over NotebookLM. Like, how do you guys feel about that? I'm not sure if you guys have used ChatGPT or OpenAI's tools for aggregating your information, but I just don't like the way it's set up. I don't like their format. I don't like the way they present the information. It looks bland, boring. I wouldn't want to look at it. It's just nothing about it is appealing to me. But let me know how you guys feel in the chat, though. I would really sent 5 rants about tech gifts membership. Oh, snap. Listen, I appreciate you, eInk. I need new members. And thank you to all the new members, by the way. You have my gratitude. All right, looking at this, like I said, it doesn't seem visually inviting as NotebookLM. So I don't really see myself wanting to use this as a study guide or an aggregator of my information. I'm not sure how it works, though. So if you guys have information, if you guys have some input on how this works, let me know. Again, one of the perks of this particular live show is that we have a call-in section. Let me go and start that now. We have a call-in section to where you can go into our Discord and you can pop into the events channel, which allows you to raise your hand and let me know that you would like to say something on the air, whether that's leaving a comment, talking about a story that we just talked about, whether you have a story that we haven't talked about that you think is super important that we should be talking about, or you just have some feedback. So this is a way to do that. You can go right into the description of this particular video, and there's a link to the Discord events channel. There's also a link to just Discord if you just want to join the Discord. We'd love to have you there. That's where we continue a lot of these stories that we bring up on the live. In case you want to say something about it, you can do that there. But yeah, so let's go ahead and open this up, actually. Get this events channel going. I think this is live 132. Yep, perfect. 131. All right, so that's started up in the Discord there. So if you want to join that, you can do so, and that's the way you can do that. We kind of trying to get some feedback and some engagement with the live show. So that would be a good way to do it. Again, thanks, Sheik, for the memberships, and I'm sure they're happy to have the memberships. If you don't know what the membership does, it gives you the little badge there. You get shout outs. So let's go ahead and shout out the new members. We got new members with air horns. So let's go ahead and do that. That's going to be fun. We got Solid State, new member. Thank you for joining us. We have Owen, you've been here. He's an honorary member. Makari, thank you for joining. We also have Christina Ray, which is like an honorary member too. She's been around here. She's not new. She's not new. And Dima Nabak. So I appreciate you guys. Let's get the air one going for Dima. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you for being here. If you haven't liked and you're enjoying the content, go ahead and like. And if you think you might want to see more live shows, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You'll see more of them. 10 a.m., Monday through Friday, if you're interested. Okay. All right. So back to the NotebookLM here, or actually the ChatGPT study mode. Yeah, I don't see myself using it. It brings some of the features that NotebookLM has, but NotebookLM seems to just be so much better. It's blowing this out of the water. So I I don't know why anyone would use this over NotebookLM yet. But if you can think of a use, you let me know. Yeah, go for it, Owen. Did Owen pop in? Owen, listen, you could be an everyday guest. If you have time during the day and you want to chime in on some of the things we're talking about, or chime in on one of the topics I have in the topic list in the description, yeah, definitely chime in. I don't mind a regular on the call in. That's fine with me. A call in regular is fine with me. All right, let's get to the next story we got up here. All right, the next story we got up here is going to be Microsoft Authenticator ending password autofill on August 1st. So this is happening same day as the Crystal Nib dropping. So if you use Authenticator, just know that it will still work the same. It still will work the same on the browser. The mobile app is what they're more concerned with here. But let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick as well. All right, so Microsoft Authenticator is ending password autofill soon. How to set up a pass key before August 1st. So they will be getting rid of passwords that will be pushed to the browser. So this will be a thing you can still do in the browser. But as far as the mobile app is concerned, you won't be able to use passwords anymore. It's just going to be passkey enabled. And if you don't know what a passkey is essentially a two-part piece of code that's encrypted. You have a part of that code, right? You keep that on your device or whatever. That's encrypted on your person, and the service that you're using or you're trying to log into keeps the other part of that code on their cloud service. So you need both parts of that code to get access to your information, and that's what makes it so secure. It's digital authenticating, which is the way of the future. That's where authenticating is going. Passwords are definitely going to be a thing of the past here pretty soon. And this is just a testament to that whole thing there. So I have a way for you to get yourself acclimated with passkeys if you're not already. And if you're using Microsoft Authenticator on the mobile, then you have a route to kind of go through and create your passkeys for your account. Now, this link is in the description of the show. So if you want to know how to do that, the link is down there. For your convenience. And just notice it'll be ending August 1st. Get yourself prepared. What do we got in the chat here? Oh, he's indeed in the waiting room. Oh, there we go. Owen's in the waiting room. Let's do it, Owen. Let's see what you got to say about this stuff. Let me move you up here. Oh, let's see. Oh, there we go. Invite to speak. There we go. We should have you up here now. Let me go ahead and make sure we're over. Oh, I got to set it up again. I moved it. Hold on 1 second, Owen. I'm trying to get the screen capture going here. I think we can get it, though. I don't think this is going to be a problem, Owen. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we got that going. All right, Owen, how's it going? Good morning.
Good.
I'm good. Thank you. Appreciate it. I appreciate you having an opinion. I appreciate you joining these call-in sections that we do. And like I said, I don't mind having an everyday call-in from a regular call-inner, or however we want to word that.
So passkeys are a good thing. I think it was hard for people to visualize how Microsoft especially were going to push it, but I think with the I do have an actual thing that I wanted to talk about, but the passkeys thing that you were talking about is, I think people are having a hard time visualizing how Microsoft and Apple were gonna push it. But I think I think they need to make it easier, especially for elderly people.
Wait, you mean make it easier to set up passkeys or make passkeys themselves easier? Okay.
Yeah, it's not quite there yet. I mean, they need to start aggressively pushing a pop-up in the browser that you can't bypass, that encourages you to set up those passkeys. I also think that what they need to be doing is they need to be talking to banks, government entities, to actually encourage people to actually establish passkey systems. I worry as well that they need to make it more secure in terms of, like, the passkeys themselves. I think that they're quite secure. The problem is that attaining those passkeys is still quite easy if people haven't locked down their system well enough. And we're still in a place technologically in terms of our computing, that there are people still technologically illiterate that would leave their documents folder, for example, or their file vault open to people being able to access. So they need to find a way to lock those passkeys away so that only people on their home PC or their phone can access them. I do worry that there's still ways that people can get around them. I think that it's definitely the future. I think that it's going to encourage people to be more aware of who they give their information to. This is what we were talking about yesterday. Um, but I think it's still going to be a couple of years before we get there.
Well, I think passkeys are definitely going to. I mean, right, and everyone's not using passkeys right now, and even Microsoft in this story, they
They're very
qualified it.
niche. I mean, this is
Yeah.
the problem. They're very, very niche. I mean, Satya was talking about introducing passkeys about 5 years ago, like right after he started talking about Continuum, which ironically Apple did a better job with. He was talking about a future where we didn't need to remember passwords. That's great. But the way that they've implemented it is so cack-handed. It's not aggressive enough because they've been worried about people's backlash towards their personal information,
And that's
ironically
always the
enough.
thing. That's always
Yeah.
the holdup too with super big companies. They can't move as quickly, right, and aggressively.
I think this is a uniquely American thing, and I hate to sound prejudiced here, but it's like
No, it's okay.
America.
We're in America, and we're sometimes prejudiced to the things that go on.
So, so the problem is with America is that you have people within the states who are very, very pro um, government involvement in things like security and things like that. They're like, well, maybe you should be doing more. Maybe you should be looking at gun control. Maybe you should be looking at people's banking systems. And then you have these people that we call libertarians. And they upset things so much because they're like, we don't want government involvement. We don't want this kind of overreach. And it makes corporations very, very shy of introducing something that is actually quite intrusive, like passkeys, because it requires people to give up some control because it's taking out that ability to define a password on your end and and entrusting computer systems to generate via algorithm those passwords that are harder to crack than currently available.
Well, I see. I think it's a good thing. I like the fact that you don't have to remember this stuff, right? That's one of the things with passwords for me. You have to remember them for one, and if you're not remembering them, then you have to second brain it. Put it somewhere to where you can recall it, and that becomes a security risk, right? So, to me,
But this is the thing. You and I on that are on that side of things where it's like government overreach is fine as long as it ensures the safety of the majority of the people,
right,
because we're
right.
used to that military structure where it's like we need to cede control to a certain degree to allow people to be safe, to ensure that safety. That's what a passkey is. Passkeys are authoritarian by nature because it's saying you will give us control to do this to make your life safer, to guarantee that your bank accounts, that your personal records, that's the covenant.
Right. Yep.
But
We talked
convincing
about it
people,
yesterday. That's a very good word to describe tech and data. A covenant.
yeah, I mean, you and I understand that because we've grown up and we've been around the military structure and we're fine with that. But when you have more individualistic people, it's hard to get them on board and to understand that it may not be a nefarious purpose for these
Yeah.
things to be established.
So do you
I
think
mean,
passkeys are ultimately going to take off?
I think passkeys will take off.
Okay.
I think it's about
I was
reaching
I was I
the
was, I
right
was
button.
wondering there for a second because it sounded like you were kind of against passkeys for a second, but then, so it's good to know that you're on board with them.
I'm on board with them, but the thing is that I worry about the way that people obtain passkeys by illegitimate means.
Mm.
I,
And do you,
I
hacking, you
sorry,
mean?
go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
I still think that there are a lot of people who are technologically illiterate that would leave their systems open, that would leave those passkeys available for people to retrieve, to be able to do things that we wouldn't want them to.
Well, see, I need to
Um,
look. I need to look more into the vulnerabilities of passkeys because I'm not versed in that. To be honest with you, I know that they're way more secure than passwords, and I know how they work, but I don't know the vulnerabilities of them. So I'll have to like do some digging
oh,
on that and
that
educate myself.
they're definitely more robust. They're in terms of complexity, they're definitely more robust by the very nature of the fact that the encryption key is infinitely longer than, for example, my passwords out of force of habit tend to be 32 character alphanumeric using Cyrillic and Greek characters as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is that hard to remember? Yes. Yeah, they are. But the thing is that passkeys are a better option. And we're facing a problem at the moment where people are like, well, I don't want to hand over that much control
Mm-hmm.
to the corpos because they're pigs. No one trusts Google, no one trusts Microsoft, no one trusts Apple,
Mm-hmm.
and these are the people that are pushing it, and everyone's saying, well, why? It's possible that they could actually be looking out for you. That's the possibility. But
And the
convincing
thing
people of that,
that there you go, convincing people of that is going to be is the hurdle.
yeah, I think the mid ground for the moment is to allow people to still generate the passwords, but to encourage them over to the passkey system. It's
Right.
going to be a good 5-10 years. It's
Yeah,
going to be a good 5-10 years.
Microsoft is doing that. Like I said in the story, they're switching their mobile all the way to passkeys, but their browser structure is going to remain the same with passwords and passkeys. So they recognize that this is not something that everyone's going to be doing right away. And as far as the mobile goes, you still have password availability on the mobile too through Authenticator if you go
Yeah.
through the browser on your phone. So I mean, you have options. You have options. One more question before we get out of here, though. How do you feel about the face scanning that's going on for securing your accounts with Reddit? Instagram is doing it for underage accounts.
The, there,
How do you feel
there,
about
are-
that?
there are, it's such a,
Do you think it's
it's
more
coming to
secure than any of the
America.
things we talked about today?
No, it's
Oh,
not. It can be
okay.
bypassed easily. They've already talked about it. Someone held up like an iPhone to a screenshot of one of the characters in Death Stranding, and it
Yeah,
passed the
yeah.
process.
And
You,
that's what I
you
was
know,
getting at.
it's absolutely absurd. It's the UK government once again overreaching because they have other objectives that this law wants to achieve. Um, it's control. I mean, they're
Hmm.
already talking about banning VPNs over here. There is a knock-on effect of this, and they're using the justification. Will someone figure the children? Well, there are lots of controversial things that we can talk about in the UK about protecting the interests of children. If you really want to have that discussion, that would
Hmm.
be far more awkward for the government. This is about control.
Yeah.
Period.
Hmm.
This is about censorship. This is about the government trying to find ways and means to control the narrative around the the relationship towards Islam, for example, which may be valid. It's there is a valid concern about the way people treat Jews and Muslims in this country. There are,
Hmm. And you think
and
this facial recognition stuff could be used to
I think it's a distraction. I think
okay.
it's a distraction. I think it's purely a distraction. They're using age verification as a back door to get further amendments attached to the online safety bill to remove the apparatus that to allow people to discuss other things that the government over here would not
Yeah. Well,
like
I
us
thought
to
it
be talking about. I
I
think it's
thought it
worth
would be
noting that the UK is substantially more authoritarian
Oh,
than the US
absolutely.
government.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I thought it would be an interesting concept to kind of throw out there in this conversation of passkeys and passwords, the new facial verification that they're pouring out there. But yeah, I think it's interesting.
Listen,
I agree with
I,
you that
I,
it may be a while before we go to full adoption on that, though. I agree with that.
I did have something I wanted to talk about. You were talking about NotebookLM earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I started computer science classes back in 1994, we were talking about, the essence, the internet, what it could be used for, the good. I mean, this is the more positive thing that I wanted to talk about, as opposed to
Just real
the
quick,
overreaching government.
for audiences just coming in, we're talking about passkeys and their effects on security, and just a broad conversation about security and how this whole new passkey phenomenon is affecting the overall security of internet safety. But go ahead, Owen. Sorry about that.
My screens are turned off. Oh, it's timed out. So you were talking about NotebookLM earlier. The thing that I find encouraging about things that Google are doing and NotebookLM and things like that is one of the fundamental precepts that we were talking about with computer science back in 1994 that got me into computer science as opposed to physics. Was we were talking about the possibility of disseminating knowledge and democratizing the wealth of human information and the data flow through the internet, the real power of the internet. Being able to reach more people in more deprived areas where they may not have access to a teacher 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is what I was talking about yesterday. This is the power of the internet. This is the dissemination and democratization of knowledge, removing it from universities and classrooms, and just putting it out there for people to have a curious mind and to encourage them to learn, to be able to pick up these skills for themselves. That's how we get the next Gates. That's how we get the next Einstein. NotebookLM is the apparatus because it provides us with the wealth of knowledge, the entire depth of human knowledge
Mm-hmm.
on a PC. The only thing that we need to do now is we need to get tablets, phones, computers in the hands of people in more deprived areas so that they can elevate themselves, so that they can generate ideas that are relevant to their own regions that can help their people. That's that's the encouraging thing about NotebookLM. Everyone talks about, how how boned we are. Sorry, I was going to drop an F bomb there, but you know,
It's a family show, Owen.
yeah, it's a family show. I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember that. But there is so much good news in the world if you look, if you
Mm-hmm.
have the means to look, if you just step away from the news for 5 minutes where you're talking about Trump and his golf course and Keir Starmer talking about, the freedom of speech over here in the UK. If you look beyond that, you've got companies in France that are talking about clean renewable fuel. You're talking, you've got ChatGPT underneath the surface that are talking about aggregating knowledge, yes, but they're also talking about disseminating that knowledge, which for me is far more crucial.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
my project with Microsoft is Project Silica. It's about maintaining human knowledge on glass. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
it's moving data storage beyond magnetic hard drives. That's the entire purpose of the project. There is so much more reason to be optimistic about where humanity is heading over the next 50, 60 years. And NotebookLM, super intelligence, conversational intelligence is a core of that
Mm-hmm.
because it's teaching AI to be more empathetic, to be able to anticipate the needs of the person and to teach them and to reach
Was
them,
well, see,
to
there we go.
eliminate things.
I think
Yeah.
options is what I think the options that it brings to the conversation when talking about Notebook LM. I think the options it brings to people who have way vastly different ways of learning.
Yeah.
And me and Sheen talk about this occasionally, different ways and different ways you learn, graphical versus very hands-on, tactile. There are lots of different ways that people learn, and I think opening those ways up is one of the superpowers of NotebookLM.
We're on the cusp of a paradigm shift in the way that humans understand our purpose in jobs and things like that, which is another thing that I wanted to talk about yesterday, but I came back far too late. You were saying, I don't know how graduates find themselves in a job after university, and this is key. I think that what we're going to be doing in the future is as we take away those basic jobs, those mundane jobs like sweeping the streets and things like that, and give that to robotics. I think that apprenticeships are going to be more essential. I think that we've got the internship system right now, but I think that apprenticeships are gonna be more employed where, people with a decent grade in university are gonna be picked up by engineers, by tech companies, by teaching organizations
Yeah.
that that groom these people over the space of a few years as opposed to just giving them 18 months training and like breed them to be the next generation of leader. We're talking about a paradigm shift where we create a better class of human being. It's it's social engineering in a very real way, but not in a scary way,
Mm-hmm.
which I think the people who are more reactionary fear, you know?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is how we this is how we defeat prejudice. This is how we defeat ignorance. This is this is how we move forward as a people, and we learn about the value of meritocracy. You know,
I think I
that's
think I think when you democratize information, right? The democratization of information. I think things just you open things up for people who wouldn't have access to certain information, right? Not only open people up to people that wouldn't have access to information, but again, like I said, you open people up to information who don't see it how most people see it, or don't process it
oh,
how most people process it, and that's one of those big things as
this
well.
this is the value in those things in that phrase that lefties come use. What is it? Lived experience.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like using technology. You can teach someone more about the history of black culture, for example. There are things that never occurred to me about you know Africa's evolution as a political country, and the people that I'd never considered, that never could consider. But
Mm-hmm.
I've been more engaged with because of my avenues through technology, where I've been able to sort of read about schooling in South Africa, for example, and how different cultures over there are affected by their inability to access education at the same level as white people over there.
Right, and
It's,
that's why I say when you democratize this stuff, it
yeah,
opens people up who wouldn't have access to it, and I think that's the beauty of this whole AI notebook LM, using AI to disseminate information and to explain things
it's it's
in better ways.
it's like I said, like I said yesterday. It's what's finally happening is that we're out at that fad stage where we're sort of like we're in love with AI for being everything. I think corporations are starting to see that people are getting a bit fatigued with that, and they're starting to see about how we can integrate AI into our daily
Yep.
lives in useful
Hmm.
ways, as opposed to create me a deep fake of Anna de Armas, for
Yeah.
example.
Right,
It's moving beyond
and
that
that's what
stage.
I was talking about with the video overviews too. I'm gonna make this point. We're gonna get out of here, Owen. But with the
Yeah,
video overviews, the point I was making was that um, it, it's like it's something that I would think about and talk about all the time, and think, hey, how can we get graphical representations of this stuff, and so we can understand it better. And I think that's where it's going there. I really do. I
I
really, yeah. Go ahead.
I had a terrible time in school with learning from books. they bored me. It's like I was always pretty smart in school, so it's like, why am I reading this crap? I already know it.
Yeah.
Visual representation intrigued me,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it came to microcircuitry and things like that. I learned how to build a motherboard because of early versions of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I
Mm-hmm.
learned how to repair a Nest system because of YouTube. That's
Yeah.
visual learning, and that's the importance of NotebookLM, of Gemini,
Absolutely.
of what
Absolutely.
Google's doing. Anyway, I've hijacked enough of your show. I'm sorry.
No, it's good, man. Thank you. Listen, Matt, like I said, Owen, anytime you can drop in, man, and give your opinion, I like it. And having a regular stop in and use the call in feature is awesome, Owen. So thank you for your input. You're always welcome, bro.
Thanks, man. You have a
All
good
right,
day.
take care. Yep.
Bye.
All right, everybody. That is going to be that section of the show. So thank you again to Owen for bringing that valuable perspective to us. I really appreciate that. I can never get enough of hearing people's perspective on technology and how it affects their life, and especially with Owen being in a different country, it gives us a super unique perspective. So thanks again to Owen for that. Going back to the options we got here to talk about our tech stories. The next thing we're going to talk about here is power bank. Actually, no, not power bank. We're not talking about power banks yet. Oh, JP Morgan confirms Apple Foldable. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. I got a quick story about JP Morgan too, but we'll get to that after this. So Apple likely to launch foldable iPhone in September 2026, predicts JP Morgan. Let's get through the story here. Apple could be set to release an entirely new iPhone design as part of its lineup in the second half of next year, according to JP Morgan. With the updates to the iPhone 17 series to be released this fall expected to be fairly limited, investor focus has already turned to the 2026 fall launches, with Apple expected to launch its first foldable iPhone as part of the iPhone 18 lineup in September 2026, featuring a book-style fold similar to Samsung's Galaxy Z Fold series. The new foldable iPhone is expected to feature a 7.8-inch inner display as well as a 5.5-inch outer display. The analyst said Samsung's Galaxy Z Fold, by comparison, has an 8-inch inner screen and a 6.5-inch outer screen. Now, this could mean a couple things. I'm going to show a mock-up here a little bit later that I'm super excited about, and I'm super excited about it for the same reason I was super excited for the Google Pixel Fold. It's got something to do with the profile and the dimensions, but we'll get there. The new foldable iPhone is expected to feature a 7.8-inch. I think we already got there. Not only that, the foldable iPhone 18 may feature a crease-free inner display, seeing that the industry anticipates Samsung will introduce similar technology with its Galaxy Z Fold 8 in 2026 as well. Chatterjee predicts that the foldable iPhone will cost $2,000 and could create a $65 billion revenue opportunity for Apple, leading to a high single-digit earnings accretion in the medium term. He also predicts that the foldable iPhone will sell low teens millions units in fiscal 2027. I struggle to understand what that meant. What they mean is it's destined to, or it's projected to sell around millions of units, but in the teens, like 15 million units, 16 million units. But that's supposed to increase to the mid 40s, so 40 million units by fiscal 2029. So starting off slow and then slowly ramping up in a 3-year span to 40 million units. So other analysts like TF International Securities, Ming-Chi Kuo, have also forecast that the iPhone maker will make a folding iPhone next year. He expects it to have premium pricing, by the way. With Apple anticipating entrance into the foldable iPhone space, JP Morgan's Chatterjee named electronic connector manufacturer Amphenol and specialty glass company Corning as beneficiaries, saying that their resulting gains could be primarily driven by high content in foldable phones rather than the volume associated with it. So these are glass makers, Amphenol and Corning. So I think Amphenol is a glass maker. I know Corning is a glass maker. So they're saying that their projections could also be reflected in this new shift towards 2026 with investor focus. I think it's very interesting. I think it's pretty safe to say at this point that Apple is definitely going to release a foldable in 2026, and it's pretty safe to say what the dimensions are going to be too. Now, we have a mock-up here. Let's take a look at. Now, this is interesting to me. This is a mock-up of what people think this is going to look like based on the designs. That looks a lot like the Pixel Fold to me. The visor camera, you dig? The dimensions that are a bit more stout and less slim and tall, like the Galaxy Z Fold. I loved the Microsoft Duo, their foldable phone that had the same dimensions as this. I love the Pixel Fold, which has the same dimensions as this. I think I'm gonna like the iPhone Fold as well, just based off the fact that the camera bump is not gonna cause any rocking, and the fact that the dimensions are a bit more stout. If this mock-up is to be believed, so we don't know yet, but super interesting, super interesting. What else we got here? Next up, we have Elgato's new webcam mounts lens filters. Now, I don't really care about Elgato's webcam. I'm not gonna hold you, chat. The internet is ablaze with this new webcam. I'm gonna give you a couple reasons why I don't care here in a second. Oh boy, what do we got here? So the first reason why I don't care about this camera, well, I mean, the price tag, $200, you can't argue with that. You can't argue with that. So that's just a thing. But the thing here is, everyone's like, oh, it's a 4K camera that looks cool, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. The real feature here is the fact that you can mount lens filters on this thing. Why would you want to mount a lens filter on your webcam? What? You want this webcam, Aaron? Aaron, stop it. Stop it, Aaron. All right, let's get big here for a second. This is the reason why I don't care about this webcam. Yeah, you can put filters on the webcam. Oh, you can make... Oh, can we do this? Oh, can I add? Oh, I can't. Can I add stuff to here? I want to add stuff. Oh, I can't add stuff to here. I wanted to add a little filter onto the camera through OBS. I know OBS is... Oh, a filter. Bam. This is all they can do, bro. They can... Oh, you add a filter on. Oh, high contrast filter. Oh, I love it. I love the high contrast. Then they got a saturation filter. You can... Oh, look at this. Oh, you gotta love it. That's the cinema right there. That's the cinema. You get that. You get filters like this with that webcam. You get, what else you get? Oh, you get, oh boy, you get the Hulk filter. I'm the Hulk. I am. You can't tell me I'm not. I got it. I got the magic. You get filters. Who cares? Who cares about filter? Oh, I could put my camera filter. I could put my camera filter on here, bro. Let me put the filter. Who cares about filters when you don't have the bokeh? you don't get the bokeh. You know? I'd accept horrendous levels of tone. If you're with the camera police, if you don't know who the camera police is, one of my favorite channels. No, it's not the camera police. It's the food police, vegetable police. Camera conspiracies. If you don't check out camera conspiracies, you're not doing yourself. Who cares? You need the bokeh. Like when you're in a webcam situation, right? You want people to be focusing on you, not your background, right? You don't want the background in focus like this. Oh, you're out of the way. Oh, why are you still? Oh, there we go. Who cares about the background? No one cares about the background. I want the background in focus, bro. No. Oh, Sony. What do you do? Okay, there we go. You want the bokeh. You want you to be in focus, and you want the background to be blown out. That's the webcam look. That's what. No, that's not the webcam look. That's the look webcams should be going for. They don't though. They don't do that. They don't go for that at all. It's like I want to be the center of the conversation when I'm on a webcam, having a phone call with someone. I don't need them looking at the toys on my shelf back there. No one needs that. Like I said, I'll accept Tone in the background. If you don't know what Tone is bokeh that's gone wildly out of control. Like you can't even tell. Like right now, my bokeh is at a level. My bokeh is at a 5 right now, because you know that's an orange back there. You don't see the orange. That level of bokeh, that level is Tone. It angers people, although it shouldn't. You need bokeh. You're not getting bokeh with this camera. You know what you're getting? You're getting 4K with the ability to do this. Cancel. You're getting 4K with the ability to do this. Oh, that wasn't it. Like, bro, I want to be an avatar. This is good. We should do the rest of the show like this. This. We want this in a webcam? Please, we don't want that in a webcam, do we? Anyway, I think it's ridiculous. I think it's totally ridiculous. I'm like, why? Who wants this and why? I don't know who wants this and why they want it. Bokeh is the blurriness. Like I'm clear, you can see me, but you can't. My webcam or my screensaver back there, how it's blurry. The effect of focusing on something and having everything else that you're not focusing on blurry or blown out, that's bokeh. It's a camera effect. You can simulate that effect with cell phones. But my point is, this is the effect you want. You don't want everything to be in focus when everyone's supposed to be focusing on you. You want you to be in focus and nothing else. So there we go. Let's go to the chat real quick. The Rock says you're a camera guy. Same filter argument with digital versus optical zoom. Digital zoom. If you've resulted to if you've lowered yourself to digital zoom, just put the camera down. Okay, just stop. Stop it right there. Oh boy, I missed a lot of chat. Let me get back up to this chat real quick. Oh boy, I missed a lot of chat. I might get that foldable iPhone, She asked if anyone's getting that foldable iPhone. I might be. If it looks like that mock-up, I might be getting it. My body's prepared for the Apple foldable. Sweet, me too. Been waiting years. Yeah, I want that Apple foldable. I do that. Currently, I'm using an iPhone 15 Pro Max. It stays in the bag and handling off all my calls, etc. to iPad Mini. It's so pretty. It had better come in orange. Ooh. You know I'm gonna have you with the orange pixel, with the pixelated orange case. I'm about to get in the third party accessory game. No kidding, I haven't touched my Mini in months. I definitely pick one of these when the 7.8 inch screen though. Orange would be awesome. All right, yeah. Nah, I want this webcam. Why do you want the webcam, Aaron? Please explain that to me. Why do you want the webcam? What's the killer feature? And please don't say the filters. Oh, and The Rock says only webcam that matters is the switch to Hori Piranha plant. Absolutely, bro. High five on that. High five on that. The Rock. I have the Elgato face cam Mark II. How is it? How do you like that, Sheen? I don't doubt Elgato. I like their stuff. I just don't. Why? Give me bokeh first, then give me some filters. How about let me attach my own lens to the webcam? For that much, you might as well go and get a ZV-1. It's a little bit more than this $200 webcam, but still. The ZV-1 is the best webcam. Period. Because it's all studio cam for content creators. Everyone can't afford the Sony or Canon cam, so this is a good no, this is not a good option. Well, I mean, if you want a webcam and you don't, and you're like, but my problem with this is that they're touting it with the filters. That is what really burns me, the filters. Like, if that's your killer feature, bro, that's not a killer feature at all. Not for a webcam. Aaron says it's because it's a good studio cam for content creators. Everyone can. No, but it's not. You can get so much better for $200. You can get way better visuals for your webcam setup than this for $200 for sure. Exactly, Aaron. I can't afford to. I just gotta deal with this Prime Day, dude. I'm gonna show you guys some sub $200 options that you can do that's way better than this thing for webcams. If you can get a nice 4K webcam for $200, that's a plus. I don't know though. I don't know, Aaron. I don't know. The Rock says, that's the point though. You're using digital filter versus physical filters. Yeah, but still. How much better are these physical filters for a webcam? I mean, honestly. By the way, Prada is coming out with smart glasses. I saw that. I saw those Prada smart glasses. I'm like, what did they have to offer the game? Unless they're like, who are they combining with? Who are they collabing with for this? Legato is Logitech. Elgato is Logitech? Really? Are we sure on the math on that? Are we sure on the math? Oh, Owen, do you get your text? What is a good webcam for creators? A good webcam for creators? I don't know. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm gonna get back with you on that. But for creators, if you want a webcam, you gotta have some bokeh. You got to. That's gonna make you stand. That's gonna bring all the focus to you. And if you want a webcam, that you should be the center of the focus. She and get all of it. I get my text. Blah blah blah. I have 3 sub $200 webcams, but that shoot 4K, and the Elgato is the best. Really? Listen, I gotta help you guys out. I'm gonna find a webcam that gives you some bokeh for under $200. It won't be a webcam. It's gonna be a camera that you can use as a webcam, but same. I'm positive, my friend. Elgato is a Logitech brand now. Wow, that's interesting. That's super interesting. I mean, my first thought for a good webcam would be Logitech, right? So that they own them, it makes sense. It jives. All right, everybody, let's go on to the next story we got here after we spent way too much time on this Elgato webcam I won't call it trash. It may be good. Who knows? xTool US launch event. Let's talk about it. So I'm not sure what the deal is with this xTool launch event. Wait, did I even show the Elgato cam? Did we show this? This is it right here. I'm not sure if I showed this, but this is it. I'm not impressed, you guys. 4K 60, who cares? It's a webcam. What are you doing on your webcam? You need 60 frames a second. I don't know. All right, moving on. Chinese desktop laser cutter brand set to launch U.S. headquarters in Mountain View, California. Now, I think this is big. I have an xTool machine. This is validate. This is, you know what this is, chat? This is just product validation. I'm going to make a video validating people's choices on products. This is my validation for the xTool, me showing the story, because I didn't know they were the best or the number one laser maker in the U.S. I had no idea. They are though, and now they're going to have a headquarters in the U.S., which is awesome. Just a little tidbit I thought was interesting to bring. There's no other tidbit to the story. There's no other news to this story. It's a 1-minute story. It's done. All right, next thing we got Comcast. Oh, actually, this is eInk. So let's go ahead into the eInk section, everybody, where we talk about the eInk news for the day. I thought Elgato was Corsair. Oh! Palm, you may be right. Oh, snap. I did hear I did hear Corsair was Elgato. Let's find out. I think you're right. I think you're right. I think you might be right. Yep, Corsair is Elgato. And Corsair is the chip maker, the RAM maker, right? They make RAM and headsets. Yep. Yes, Corsair owns Elgato. In 2018, Corsair acquired the Elgato brand from Elgato Systems. The Elgato brand is now operated as a separate subsidiary of the Corsair Group. Interesting. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. All right. Either or would have made sense to me. I mean, they're both in the PC aftermarket game. Yeah, but let's go ahead and go to the eInk news. All right, the first thing we got up here on the eInk front is Comcast, right? Comcast Square Q launches eInk device for the pharma industry. Let's check this out. Oh, maybe if my GoTo 3 would work. Oh boy, here we go. All right, there we go. Here we go. Let's look at this article. Machine Q, a Comcast company, announced an extension of its lab asset management solution with the launch of a new device that will digitize a routinely paper-based process in the life sciences sector. The MQ Display 4B is a eInk display device that provides pharma companies with a digital solution for tracking, managing, and displaying critical equipment data. It eliminates the need for manual updates to paper asset tags, helping employees to manage and maintain accurate, up-to-date records. If you can't imagine how eInk would be used in a lab setting like this, I've worked in a few labs in my lifetime, and I'm thinking of ways it could be used, and I'm like, calibration tests. Like every machine you're going to use in a lab has some kind of labeling by it that tells you the last time it was calibrated, how long you should wait between calibrations, so you know if you need to calibrate that machine. That's data that you would have to continually update on a machine's information board. But with an eInk display that can just pump this data out from a networked source, whenever a scientist or researcher puts in data for calibration, that'll just get pumped to the display by the machine, and you will instantly know, and it'll be kept there, and you will instantly know when the machine was last calibrated. Now, that's just one example of this. Other examples could be the lifetime cycle of the machine, right? Or how long the machine is run that day. Those are all things that researchers need to know when they're doing experiments and tests on things. The actual condition of the equipment that you're about to use, all of the different stats that it has that you need to know before use and during use can be labeled on an eInk display versus a paper board like what we use now in labs. Basically a clipboard where you write that data down, and it's constantly changing. That list of changes gets longer and longer, and you just have to continue to do it. eInk will save a lot of time, paper, and this information will be automatically updated. So super efficient as well. The device also helps provide lab staff with real-time data needed to follow timely calibration, I just mentioned that, and maintenance schedules, which can assist them in managing quality controls. The MQ Display 4B implements the company's existing indoor asset tracking and asset utilization solutions by providing lab managers and users with greater visibility into equipment information. By integrating with customers' computerized maintenance management system and other business applications, the device enables real-time dynamic status updates to be displayed on the easily accessible digital interface. The functionality simplifies the monitoring of asset management and calibration data, thereby helping to enhance operational efficiency and accuracy in lab environments. Featuring a 4.2-inch 3-color eInk display, interactive push button, and flexible mounting options, this low RAWAN enabled device offers high visibility and minimal power consumption, supporting a battery life of up to 5 years, which is another big thing about eInk. The MQ Display 4B is optimized for high-density indoor environments such as pharma labs and can be easily deployed across multiple labs without extensive infrastructure. Now, again, I can see the immediate use in this in labs without having to touch a thing. It's just stuff that's automatically updated. I love that. So I'm looking forward to this implementation of eInk in laboratories and in that sector. Again, we won't have to wait long before eInk comes to the education sector. With it infiltrating sectors like this, scientists are going to start using it more and rely on it more. When scientists use and rely on it more, it gets taught that way when things are taught, and then that kind of trickles down to the education of younger students. Next thing we got, upcoming Mag Ink Power Bank has a Kaleido 3 ink paper display, or e-paper display. Now, I don't care about this. This is dumb. But I do care that it shows the power of the actual power bank, right? If it gave me voltage, if it showed me the percentage of of charging, how fast it's going to charge something, time till it dies, things like that. But this screen it looks like it's just there to show you art. like who cares? But it's a thing. So for $49, this is it's in Kickstarter right now, and the early bird price is $40. The pricing as it's listed is going to be $90. But again, like I said, I don't see the usefulness of this if it's not showing me stats on the actual power bank. But whatever. New foldable laptop might be the thinnest yet. Huawei's Matebook Fold. Now this is brought up to me in the Discord by eInk. She was asking, has anyone seen this thing? I had not seen this before. But this is an Huawei laptop. Let's go ahead and talk about the article and go through some of the specs here. Huawei just launched a super sleek foldable laptop that just might be as thin as your phone. The Matebook Fold, which consists of a single OLED display, is just 7.3 millimeters. That's impressive when unfolded, and 14.9 millimeters when closed. To compare, Lenovo's ThinkPad X1 Fold measures 8.6 millimeters thick unfolded and 17.4 millimeters when folded. But unlike Lenovo's device, the Matebook Fold is only available in China for now, with a price of around $3,300. The Matebook Fold's 18-inch display folds to a 90-degree angle to form a 13-inch upper screen, mimicking a traditional laptop with a digital keyboard instead of a physical one. The device weighs just 1.16 kilograms, with its tandem OLED offering a 3.3K screen resolution with a peak brightness of up to 1600 nits. The laptop also comes with up to 32 gigabytes of RAM and 2 terabytes of storage. This also marks the debut of Huawei's in-house operating system called Harmony OS 5, which I think is the more important, more interesting thing here on PC. Huawei first launched Harmony OS on Android, but it has been brought to its operating system. It has brought its operating system to PCs after losing access to Microsoft Windows in March due to U.S. sanctions. In addition to coming with the Matebook Fold, coming with the Matebook Fold, the system is also available on new Matebook Pro as well. The operating system, the Harmony OS, seems interesting. This device seems interesting as well. I mean, it's super thin. Let me see this. It is super thin, chat. And I'm digging that. It looks like there's a separate, maybe you can fold it and use a separate keyboard with it as it looks like it's being used here. This was not on my radar, so thank you to eInk for bringing this to my attention here. I think it's super interesting. Can we get this down? We can't get it down. Oh boy, we just got to go back. We can't even go back. Okay, we can't do that. Never mind. I think it's super interesting. And it's a good start to how things are supposed to look when we take this foldable to the laptop form factor. Now, Microsoft did something like this a while back. They announced the Duo, which was the foldable phone, and they announced the Neo, which was their foldable laptop. And I think that Neo was very interesting. Very, very interesting. This is what that reminds me of. That was a screen split in two. This is kind of one screen that can fold, but the concept is basically the same. They had a software keyboard, on-screen keyboard like that at the base, and the top was the actual screen. I loved it. It never came out, but I did like the idea of that. What else we got here? Notable. Is Notable open source? Does anybody know? That's a question I wanted to ask of the chat today. Anyone use Notable out there? And is it open source? I was talking with Jay about that, and I didn't get an answer back from him about whether it's open source yet. But do we know? And last thing on the eInk tip is my Note Air 4C is back working. Oh boy, where's it at? That was it right there. So my Note Air 4C is working again, everybody. In case you were wondering, I know you guys were worried out there. The thing about this is backup, people. Back up your devices, because I thought I lost every note I had because I didn't think I had my backup on, but my backups were on, so I didn't lose anything, but everything was wiped. But as we can see here, I got my notes back. Okay, so and my notes app is working again, and I got all my notes again. So that's a thing. Now, what did I have to do to fix that? So what happened was my Note Air 4C, when I was drawing on it, lost all of my. I'm gonna give you guys a sneak peek at something real quick. A sneak peek at something. You won't understand what it is probably, but it's a sneak peek. Oh, should I do this? Yeah, you guys definitely won't understand what this is, but it's a sneak peek. So, now when I draw, right? Let's get rid of this. So when I draw. There we go. So when I draw with lines. So I'm just going to draw a circle real quick here. So this is how I draw. I use the pressure sensitive pen. And if I'm drawing a circle, well, no, let's just say I'm drawing a rectangle to start off my drawing with. Let's just say I'm drawing a rectangle. This is how I draw a rectangle. I just feather stuff. This is how I draw. Now, when a lot of people draw a rectangle, this is how they draw a rectangle. They just like, I'll just draw a rectangle. And if you want to be real specific, you just go to your shapes, right? And then you say, I want to pick a rectangle with shapes, and then you go and you draw your rectangle. Now, that's how a lot of people do that. I don't. Like I said, this is how I do it. Whoops. This is how I do it. And I do it like this for a specific reason. Because I don't know what my shape is going to be a lot of the times. So I draw like this. And I love drawing like this because it allows me to do a few things. Now, say I wanted a rectangle, right? But I wanted to maybe put a box down here. So what would normally happen if I was trying to change this shape and I wanted to delete that, it would delete the whole thing because I drew it all in one stroke. Right? If I wanted to just append this portion right here, there's no way for me to append that without redrawing the whole thing. But and the same goes for this. If I wanted to redraw something there, I couldn't. The whole thing would have to get redrawn. But when you draw this way, if I wanted to put something here, now I'm going to push my button here. This is how I'm deleting things. Now, when I push this and hold this button here, what's happening is a very small stroke erase is happening. So it's going to erase only the stroke that the pen is over. And since I draw with a lot of strokes, this is what happens when I want to just amend this portion of this drawing. You see that? Only that portion got erased. And that's because I draw with a bunch of different small strokes. So no matter what I want to delete, I can just delete that portion. Say I want to just delete this portion. Bam. It's just that's gone. Say I just want to delete this portion. Bam. Just that's gone. The whole thing doesn't have to be redrawn. Now, does that make sense, you guys? Sheen says that's a pen loop. Shink, you're wrong. You're 100% wrong. All right. Um, but that's why I draw like this. Now the downside of this is that instead of it being one stroke, like it is for this rectangle consists of dozens of strokes. And when you have multiple drawings on one sheet of paper, that use dozens of strokes to complete it, like, then it becomes a problem. Then you have an issue with the system being able to handle all of those strokes. That's what was happening to me. Because I was working on a drawing with tons of different strokes. Owen said, it should be a pen loop. Instead of having it with tons of different strokes, it has a problem processing all of those strokes. And that's what I realized. So I had to break up my notebook with all of my drawings in them for a thing that's definitely not a pen loop. It's definitely not a pen loop. That thing. That's where I'm going with that. So my thing is here is, if you draw like I do, you need to, every notebook needs one drawing, okay? You can't make one drawing and multiple revisions on that drawing with dozens of strokes per drawing. You need to make one notebook per drawing. That way you don't crash your system. Because if you do what I did and put multiple of these drawings that require dozens of strokes to make, now you got a problem. Now the system is going to be bogged down. And don't even talk to me about layers. You throw layers into this mix, you got a recipe for disaster. Let's go to the chat real quick. Parm, I thought Elgato was Corsair. Yep. I'm in Discord if you have time. Oh, snap. My bad, Aaron. I didn't see you in Discord. Let's pull up Aaron here. Aaron. I'm going to invite you to the conversation now. Let's see if can we do this. Invite to speak. Okay, Aaron, my bad. I didn't see that you were in there. I just got to the chat. Hold on. Let me switch over and we'll start this conversation over here. Okay, we got our second call in for the show. That's what's up. I like this. Up. Can we get rid of this? Oh, Aaron, what happened? Aaron left. Oh, Aaron. My bad, Aaron. I didn't see you there. But if you do want to say something, come back into the Discord. Again, we have a call-in section of the show. If you want to say something, you got something you want to get off your mind, you want to say it on the live show, we have a Discord link in the description where it takes you straight to the event channel to where you can raise your hand once you're in there. Let me know you want to say something. I invite you up. You say your piece, and bam. We've already had one today. Oh, Aaron's back. Okay, we're going to invite Aaron to speak again. Let's see if this works. Okay, there we go. All right, so Aaron. All right, there we go. So Aaron, I think you might be muted. Yep, I can hear you now. So now you're not muted. Let's go over to Aaron real quick in the call-in section here.
Oh, okay.
All right, we got you, Aaron.
Oh, hey man, how you doing today?
Good, man. Thank you. How's it going?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain. So I came on. I was gonna talk to you about just the difference with the webcams. So like I understand what you were saying, that there are better options. I just was saying that I think that there could be some people who can't afford those DSLRs or mirrorless cameras, and those webcams could be a viable option for them.
See, and this is why I like the call in, because the vibe is totally different. Hearing you state your opinion versus reading it, I like it. And so thank you for doing this. I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. But man, I'm telling you, the Bokeh, Aaron.
See, I actually bought a couple of them because I do a lot of, when my wife and her sister, they do their acting, I might do a lot of like on-site interviews with some of the actors and actresses, and I'll roll with my iPad, and I don't feel like carrying around a bunch of cameras. Right. So one of them I bought was, I have two eMeet 4K cameras. So one is like this eMeet 4K camera mini that has AI built into it. So it's like AI zoom and stuff like that.
Okay.
has an option for like product reviewers if they want to do the up close, where it will focus on whatever you put up
See,
close for that
that's
macro
nice.
shot.
That's nice.
So it has that. And then for work, because I actually do a lot of Zoom meetings and stuff like that, because I travel a lot, I bought those as well, and they work pretty good. Like this one thing I saw someone talk about. What is the name of this thing? This Ozbot. So this Ozbot 4K that actually follows you. So it has AI detection where it will follow you and move. So
It's a robot?
No, it's like a little man. I don't have my video. It's like a
Oh,
little.
it's a camera that can follow you.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's on a gimbal. It's called Ozbot Tiny 2, and it's on a gimbal. Shoots 4K. It has hand gestures. So let's say if you're like a educator and you're teaching a seminar online or whatever, like it'll follow you. So if you're writing on the whiteboard, it'll follow you. It has good
Gotcha.
digital zoom and stuff like that. So they're viable
I think
options
Kit
for people.
previewed something like that on his channel once that I saw.
Yeah, I think he did. And I think they're just good options for people who are getting into content creating, don't have that, $2,000 to spend on the Sony cam or Canon, and then you have to buy glass for it. If you want a certain look, you buy an anamorphic lens and things like that. Now, I do know Logitech came out with a webcam that is wireless that you can sync up to like 4 cameras to, and they have one that you can actually put Sony glass on. So if you already have, if you're already into the Sony ecosystem, you can throw Sony lenses on there. The problem is that camera is 4K, but it costs $900. So it's like,
Jeez, yeah.
If
At that point, you might as well just go and buy a camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, but that's all, man. That's all, man. That's
well,
all
thank
I
you,
just
Aaron.
wanted to pop in and talk about.
Listen, I appreciate you, brother, and thanks again for popping in. And feel free anytime, man. You have a good day now.
All right, you too, man.
All right. So that was our second call in. So thank you to Aaron for popping in and giving his piece on the story we were talking about with the Elgato 4K webcam. Now I talk crap about it, but there's uses, right? There's uses. I'm gonna be a snob. That's just I'm gonna do snob stuff, like call it trash. But he's right. It's if you need something that can do 4K 60, and like I said, creators are on board with this thing, right? I'm just talking crap about it, but creators overwhelmingly love this thing. Everyone that I've talked to who's a creator, everything that I've seen from creators, love it. So I'm going to talk crap about it, but everyone loves this thing. Everyone definitely loves this thing. Owen said, it needs to be a pin loop. It might. It might be the world's most intricate pin loop, but it's definitely not what eInk said it was, which is a pen loop. But, that's another thing. What else we got in the chat here? Javier's in here. Javier, how's it going? USB-C, the picture. USB Type C, the picture. No. No, it's not. It's not a USB-C. It's not USB-C. It's cool though. But you could use it as maybe you could use it USB-C. All right, everybody. I think that's it. I think that's gonna be it. Man, this is a pretty concise live. Hour and a half, not bad. We need to get it to an hour though. One day we'll get it to an hour. Thanks everyone for joining the live stream today. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat crew who come to the chat early. They engaged. They're starting conversations. I really appreciate you guys. I couldn't do it without you. Definitely my co-host, the chat crew here. So thank you to the chat for being here. Rants About Tech Live every weekday, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to kind of whenever, hour and a half show. We talk about tech news. We talk about all those things. If you're still here, hit the like button for me. If you want to see more of this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me. I mean, you want to see more, right? We talk about tech news. We talk about eInk. We talk about maker stuff. We didn't have any maker stuff to talk about today. Although the resin. Let's show the resin real quick. Oh, where's the resin? We got to show the resin real quick before we get out of here, chat. This is the resin results. I'm going to take them out of here. We'll have these taken out of the cups tomorrow, and we'll talk about the color and what that meant. I'm trying to find a really pale pastel orange. We're not there, chat. We haven't found it yet, but we're still on the hunt. All right, everyone. Join the Discord if you want to continue these conversations after the live stream. The link is in the description. What else? Become a member of the YouTube crew. You can join the YouTube membership. Just join. It's 99 cents. It's $1. You get a little badge. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. She gave out 5 memberships today, so we're up 5. we're one up in the day. But if you want to join yourself, go ahead and hit the join button somewhere down here. You get shout outs when it comes to the live streams. You get automatically entered into live stream giveaways, which we're having this Friday. We're doing two giveaways that everyone who's a member in a live stream is going to be entered to win. So yeah, lots of perks for being a member. Check out the YouTube channel if you want more information on that. All right, everyone. Until tomorrow, you guys take care. Peace. Oh, BM, I almost talked about the Oakley resolution. I beat that dead horse to death yesterday, so I won't do it. Oh, one last thing. Shout out to and my prayers go out to the people in California. I hope you guys don't get that tsunami. I hope that tsunami doesn't come. I was supposed to say that like earlier in the show. So, all right, I'm done.